Hi and welcome to the Colorado Giants video log. Come join us at Harpo's in Boulder for a stitched-on Landon Collins jersey to commemorate the season, and at the Tavern in Platt Park in Denver for the upcoming game against the Redskins on Sunday, New Year's Eve at 11. It'll be a pre-party for your New Year's Eve plans. So it's official, the Giants have the worst season in franchise history. The day they gave up is the Cardinals game. That was this Sunday. It was one of only 3 losses out of their 13 where they didn't even get within a touchdown. They weren't within a touchdown in the fourth quarter. They got shut out, all right? So at least they didn't make us think that they could win this one. Some positives, Eli surpassed John Elway for 6th overall all-time passing yards. Kudos, Eli. We hope you stay. And we had mentioned that last week. It was a possibility. And then the Cowboys got knocked out of the playoffs. All right. So the only thing we got to worry about is the Eagles. Why have the Giants been so bad this year? Let's start with the defense. And I know that the defense-offense is so intermingled. But they are 4th on defense in most plays from scrimmage. Means that they obviously will be giving up more yards if you keep if you keep playing more plays. They are 5th most penalized defense in the league. They are 4th worst in time of possession, which I know is both sides of the ball. 3rd worst in sacks. Did I mention that the defensive ends have been underperforming? I think I mentioned that last week. So they also gave up the most receiving touchdowns this season. They've allowed 42% of third down conversions. That's terrible. And to why they're on the field so much, the offense is 3rd worst at third down conversions. Now, Brendan Riley, got to give you credit for this statistic. You looked this up. The offense is worst for 3 and outs, which always puts the defense right back on the field with short rest. The special teams, boy, they've been special this year. Aldrich Rosas is 2nd worst in field goal percentage with under 70%. That's 7 misses, and he's 7th worst out of all of the. I'm sorry, 2nd worst out of anyone who's kicked at least 10 field goals. And second, he's got 2 kickoffs that went out of bounds, and there's only one other fool in the NFL that has that distinction. Brad Wing, dead last out of 34 punters for net yards. Net yards, I know, is total special teams. He's also lowest percentage downed inside the 20. I know that's also total special teams, but a lot of that has to do with his foot. 3rd highest percentage of touchbacks, which is all on him. And then 23rd in the league in punt yards. That's not net, so that's all on his foot. More going on the Eli Apple saga. He's suspended for the Redskins game. There was some disparaging remarks from Landon Collins. I know he's apologized, but clearly Eli Apple needs to grow up. And there's a lot of things being, a lot of hate being thrown at Eli Apple. I look, you do need to grow up, no question about it. There's serious talent there. I really hope that you can figure out your own personal issues so that you can come back next year with a fresh start. Obviously, a lot of people want to talk about GM David Gettleman getting the nod. He will usher in the new era of Giants football. He spent the 13 seasons with the Giants as the personnel in charge of the personnel director. And before the last year, before 2017, he spent 4 years as general manager for the Carolina Panthers. The Giants really screwed up, so they interviewed him. Ernie, of course, he was involved in both these decisions. He interviewed both of them, helped David Gettleman land the job when the Giants hired Jerry Reese in 2007, and helped him get the job in Carolina. So the Giants didn't want to repeat this mistake of missing out on David Gettleman. He knows the Giants very well. He knows the culture, something that Odell Beckham could learn, something that Eli Apple could learn. So that's something to look for, that he's going to bring that back to this organization, which sort of has lost its way in the last few years. As he puts it, he likes to build around the hog mollies, very similar to the way that George Young built around the offense and defensive lines, things that I've been calling for a long time, which is a huge departure from Reese's finesse game, going for the finesse players, where he basically has corrupted this team through that. I think it's a great hire. It's exactly what the Giants need right now. And another good benefit of this at 66, he doesn't have the need for longevity that you would have from a younger GM, so he's not going to water down his decisions. He can make the tough calls and not worry about the long-term repercussions of his career. So let's talk about this Redskins game. Do we have to? Yes, it's mercy. This season is finally over. It will be finally put to rest. The line on the game is 3 points. Giants are 3-point underdogs. Some stories. Could this be Eli's last game as a Giant? Will Webb come in? Will the fans come to actually watch this game in the Meadowlands to watch his victory lap, if it is, in fact, his last game? If the Giants, now here's an interesting statistic, if the Giants don't get 9 points in this game, which they got shut out last week, if you can remember, it'll be the lowest points total in a 16-game season in franchise history, to go along with the worst record in franchise history. So, interesting bit of history to watch. Injuries. Landon Collins is finally ends the season with a broken forearm, put on IR. You put together a hell of a campaign. We love you, Landon, with the exception of your remarks, and I know you've apologized. BJ Goodson's also been placed on IR, so from the injury reports, the Giants now have a tally of 22 players on IR. The Redskins have 19, so they're not far behind. But 22 players on IR. You field a team with 22. There's 22. There's 11 men on offense and 11 men on defense. And if you took them all out, that's our injured reserve roster. All right. On offense, the Redskins actually give up more rushing yards than the Giants do, so let's look for a healthy dose of Wayne Gallman, continue the run and shoot offense, because that should open up the playbook for Eli Manning to have another career game. And now on D, the Skins actually have a decent passing attack. They're 11th in the league with 241 yards per game. Thanks for watching the Colorado Giants video log. Thanks for sticking with us all season. It has been a terrible one, probably the worst season I could have started this video log with, but nonetheless, it will get better. It must get better. And remember to join us in Harpo's in Boulder for the jersey, the stitched-on Landon Collins jersey, and at the Tavern in Platt Park in Denver for the upcoming game against the Redskins on New Year's Eve at 11. You could just roll right into your holiday plans from there. All right. Cheers.